Insiders, welcome. Today we are discussing Prince Harry sharing very sneaky little tactics with Keir Starmer and the deep state in how to create a bulletproof narrative that ultimately, in my opinion, gaslights the lot of us. So we have seen today, front of the mirror, Britain isn't broken. You are all amazing. Wow. So let's just start by talking about what Keir Starmer was at. He was at the Pride of Britain Awards. Now, the Pride of Britain Awards is an award show that the Mirror newspaper hold. And it used to be run by a man called Peter Willis, who is no longer alive. And what Peter Willis managed to do was get every celebrity on side. So they would be walking the red carpet, photographed with all of the Mirror branding, and by getting your client there, you knew you've got a favor with the Mirror. So you would often see big politicians, sometimes royalty, very famous celebrities doing it. And this is where you meet people. Well, people are awarded for their bravery and amazing people from all walks of life. However, it is rather disingenuous. So, having accompanied clients to it many times, I have definitely seen firsthand that people are there to bank that little favor with the Mirror and to be seen to be doing the right thing. And so I always have quite a problem with this because this is using vulnerable people and normal people. And I think it's quite disgusting, actually. And so you would see when the awards were announced, the celebrities would be chatting, and then it's like, and that is grifty. And so, what we see with Keir Starmer, let me just pop this up on the stage. Keir Starmer, Britain's not broken. Just look at our fantastic Pride of Britain winners. Um, Britain is broken, and that takes nothing away from the amazing Pride of Britain winners, because whilst I don't like the Pride of Britain awards because of the fact that people just go to be photographed, that doesn't take away from the fact that there are very, very worthy winners. What I do have a problem with is what Prince Harry and Keir Starmer have done when they want to, in my opinion, create a bulletproof narrative whereby we can't criticize them. Because look at that little boy. We are immediately drawn to support him and his bravery, and nothing I'm saying today takes away from that. He is obviously a very well deserved winner, and it's more the fact that people like Keir Starmer and Prince Harry have the audacity to come out and use disabled children or vulnerable children. I do not feel, in my opinion, that these are people, that Keir Starmer and Prince Harry are doing these kind of visits with these brave children frequently. Now, I may be wrong, and that is just my thought process. But we then have, let's have a look actually at Harry. So you will remember that Harry flew in, and if you followed my videos, you will see I spoke about him and the palace creating a bulletproof narrative. And this narrative was he flew in, he went to the late Queen's grave, then he went on to the World Child event, then I'm not saying this in the right order, but then he did, I think, some things with Invictus. He met with veterans, then he went to Nottingham, and then went on to Ukraine. And so this whole kind of fake royal tour. But it's very, very hard for media, mainstream media, to criticize these figures. And this is such a deep state tactic by Starmer and also Harry, because this was the first time Harry had flew in. And we don't want him here. We don't like him. He has behaved in the most appalling manner. And Then the first time we see him in public, he's with disabled children. And so we are not able to air frustration, or the press are not able to air frustration at him, and they have to report factually. And that's what I mean about it being a bulletproof narrative. And you will see here, this is the list of, just a snapshot of press from when Harry did exactly the same thing as Keir Starmer. So Prince Harry back in the UK and attends charity awards. Prince Harry hails young Well Child Award winners as beacons of hope and inspirations in moving speech. Prince Harry praises courage of seriously ill children at awards on return to the UK. Prince Harry to attend special event in London on anniversary of Queen Elizabeth's death. Prince Harry presents Stoke-on-Trent Girl with Well Child Award. And so what we can see is, let's see what Keir Starmer's bringing up today. Pride of Britain 2025 as Susan Boyle and Keir Starmer walk the red carpet. Keir Starmer, Britain's not broken, just look at our fantastic Pride of Britain winners. Pride of Britain Awards 2025, Best Dressed Stars. Starmer seeks to restore pride in Britain and plans to take on reform. That's fine, Keir, but don't use disabled children to try and rehabilitate your image. It is disgusting of you to use vulnerable children when you evidently don't care about children, because we've seen how you've behaved with the grooming gangs, and this is a fact. So I will read you the article from the Mirror, but what I want to do just quickly is play you a clip of Keir. And if you knew how long this had taken me to try and get this into the system to share with you, I feel like my technical skills are getting worse, but it's worth learning the tech skills because Keir Starmer's getting it today. Right. If you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe. I was told I say all that in the wrong order, but you know what I mean. So
that was amazing. To have them in the cabinet room downstairs was a fantastic moment. I find each of them inspiring and humbling in equal measure. And I think that telling their stories is so important because they reached the audience last night. They will reach the country through the programme and through what you're doing. And I think that's fantastic.
Right, let's go over this. So we'll call this Britain Gate. We've had Donkey Gate before. This is Britain Gate. We're going to go back and we're going to dissect this because he is telling porcupines. This is so clearly written by someone else for him. He hasn't written this. Do you think these are the words of someone that is genuine? I don't think so. And Keir Starmer has probably gone to his comms person and they've thought, hang on, let me go through the drawer. Right, there's the speech from last year. Hang on, just put an extra comma in. There you go, Keir. Right. Here we go. Britain Gate.
It's fantastic to have all the winners here and their families and to be able to say to them, this is the centre of government and they're not guests.
Oh, this is the centre of government that's currently failing every innocent and vulnerable child in the UK. Continue.
Here, they're entitled to be here because they are the very best of our country. So
they are some of the very best in our country. And you are so far from being anywhere near the best that we represent. Continue.
That was amazing. To have them in the cabinet room downstairs was a fantastic moment. I find each of them inspiring and humbling in equal measure.
What about the survivors of the grooming gangs, Keir? Do you find those inspirational? I don't think they find you inspirational because you and your government, pal, you gaslight them and you ignore them.
And I think that telling their stories is so important because they reached the audience last night. They will reach the country through the programme.
And there we have it. You don't care about them, Keir. You don't care about this brave little boy, Luke, who is disabled and has more resilience than you have in your little finger. You don't care about the children you're failing. You are wheeling out these disabled children for the Pride of Britain Awards to try and rehabilitate your image and try and deflect.
And through what you're doing. And I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, it is so shocking that people like Keir Starmer and the deep state and Prince Harry, they think we don't see this, because we actually start to feel really guilty. When you look at this, you do feel guilty if you say that's a really beep move. So I'm going to read you. Let's just remind ourselves of when Harry did that with the little balloon. Oh, I haven't been in the country for a while. Slagged everyone off in my book. All I've done is rinse that little lemon for money, money, money. But oh, he's back. Love England, love the country. We don't love you. So I'm going to read you this piece. Pride of Britain Awards. This is the Keir Starmer one. 2025, as they happened. Tears. Remember what I told you about the celebrities? Winners and celebrity surprises. The winners moved celebrities, politicians, and stars to tears. With their stories of courage, bravery, and brilliance at the Daily Mirror Pride of Britain Awards. It has been celebrating the very best of everything British for more than a quarter of a century, and once again it was the children of courage and incredible stories of bravery and adversity which moved a host of celebrity actors and sports stars to tears at the 26th Daily Mirror Pride of Britain Awards with P&O Cruises. Oh, right. The Prime Minister, I'm not calling him sir, so sorry. The Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, Keir Starmer, was there with his wife Victoria to pay tribute to the long line of unsung heroes as they receive the recognition they so richly deserve. At just 12 years old, Luke Mortimer typified what the night is all about when he received his Child of Courage trophy. Just want to interject here to say that I hope we don't see any cuts for disabled children from Keir Starmer, because obviously he seems very passionate and he wants to wheel brave and resilient children like Luke out. We're watching you, Keir, to see how much these children are a priority for you. Luke had all his limbs amputated after contracting meningitis septicemia in 2019, yet he still thought of others. The audience at the Grosvenor House Hotel gave him a huge round of applause as they heard how he donated thousands for children with disabilities through his extraordinary fundraising activities. And there we have it. Luke, a 12-year-old who has had all his limbs amputated and is at the very start of, his childhood, has done more, in my opinion, to help other children than our Prime Minister. And our Prime Minister, in the thick of the country operating on the very edge of a cliff, and he is getting a lot of negative press. This is so opportunistic to use someone like Luke in this situation. So it continues and says, his favourite TV stars, Ant and Dec, sent a special message to Luke, who told host Carol Vorderman of his motto when life was tough: hope for a good time and try and make it happen. And then it goes on to read the rest about the awards. So I just want to reiterate that obviously my problem is not at all with any of the winners. I think people that have shown bravery and resilience, without a doubt, deserve these awards, and these are the real celebrities. My issue is with people like Keir Starmer manipulating situations to try and rehabilitate their image using these children and these award winners. And we've seen it, we've seen Harry do it. So this is some of the Harry press from before, remember. Prince Harry praises courage of seriously ill children at Well Child Awards as he returns to the UK. Before the ceremony in central London, the Duke of Sussex spent time with winners and their families, listening to their stories and sharing personal moments. And if we actually look at what's going on in the country and take a moment. I'm sharing a new clip. Hang on. This is what we see. It's utterly shameful. Sadiq Khan accused of turning a blind eye to beep gangs in London, despite real credible evidence of horror assaults. And then we've also got this clip of Jess Phillips that I want to share. And I just want to take a moment just to highlight the fact. Could you imagine what these victims and survivors are thinking at this point? Every single person in power is letting them down. And this is how Jess Phillips behaves. So it all starts to make sense when this is going on, why Keir Starmer has done this. Because do you know what this will do? This will bank Starmer a favour with the Mirror. I think, I'll be legally careful what I say, but whenever I have had clients at the Pride of Britain Awards, I have known I could call a favour in and it would always be with a favour that I couldn't, maybe with someone I couldn't place somewhere else. And you see Ant and Dec go to or support these kinds of awards, or you see you'll see celebrity PR agents get the big clients, and then you'll suddenly see, oh my word, why was that person there? Someone that's a lot lower ranking. And this is how you as a publicist, you have to leverage. You can have celebrity A and B who are the big boys, but you've got to take the little ones that are on their way up. And it's a big night in the calendar. Everyone says it's very humbling, and it is, but are they all there for the right reasons? So let's go to Jess Phillips now, this video of her speaking, and it is utterly outrageous.
His interpretation is a brilliant case in point, because I will be completely honest, the conversation with Oldham is, do we not think it might be better for them just to take part in a statutory inquiry? That it is absolutely nothing to do with the idea that Oldham is telling me what to do. And the more people from that side, he can hold up his paper and have a smug face all he likes.
I think there's many people we could say have a smug face, Jess, but I don't think anyone beats you. So I'd just wind it in right there, sweetheart.
But the fact of the matter is that there is absolutely no council in this country who will tell this inquiry where it can and cannot go.
What about Tower Hamlets, Jess? What about Bradford? Thought about those two? We're watching.
1,000,000 times from this dispatch box, and yet the same thing gets peddled again and again.
Imagine behaving like that when you are the head of safeguarding. That immature, angry, defensive response. And you clown, you're allegedly doing a job supporting and safeguarding children. You could not safeguard anything. Get her out. Continue.
Thank you, Ms.
The victims of these crimes were vulnerable children who were ignored and who were gaslit and who were dismissed. Two women have now resigned, two victims have now resigned because of this process and their lack of failure in the process.
I want to let you guys know as well that I'm working on getting someone involved in this onto the show, so we can hear from them in a full narrative.
And yet what I hear from the Minister appears to me to be an aggressive and defensive tone. Yeah. Does she regret the fact? Is she going to listen? Well, is she going, remember these people are watching, is she going to listen to the victims? And does she regret that these two individuals have resigned from the process?
I absolutely regret that they have resigned from the process that, funnily enough,
So Jess Phillips there answering.
More word salad. So when Keir Starmer, like Prince Harry, uses these vulnerable and resilient and brave children to, let's have another look, rehabilitate their image, I would look very closely with caution. And so let's remind ourselves again why Keir Starmer did turn up to the Pride of Britain Awards, because the country is in a terrible state. And like Prince Harry, he didn't have wiggle room to get any public sympathy because we don't like either of them. They have both behaved atrociously. And so it is no mistake that in times of crisis, people like Keir Starmer and Prince Harry become rather opportunistic, I would argue, and cherry pick events and situations and people that provide a bulletproof narrative whereby we cannot be seen to criticize them. I will. I'm keeping the Savlora here now. So let's watch this video again. Now we've seen the Jess Phillips one, and we can just see what a plonker Keir Starmer is.
Fantastic to have all the winners here and their families, and to be able to say to them, this is the central government, and they're not guests here, they're entitled to be here because they are the very best of our country. So that was amazing. To have them in the cabinet room downstairs was a fantastic moment. I find each of them inspiring and humbling in equal measure, and I think that telling their stories is so important because they reached the audience last night. They will reach the country through the programme and through what you're doing. And I think that's fantastic.
It is so grifty. So keep your eyes open, okay? If these people truly, truly care about these brave and resilient children, why do we only see them popping up at times of crisis where it then gaslights and backs us, the public, into a corner where we can't criticize them? So that's your nugget for today, folks. If you've got any questions about this, drop them below. Please comment, like, subscribe. Oh, that was the other one. Hit the notification bell. I am getting better at the tech side, and a big shout out to Steph the Alternerd, who has the patience of a saint and has been trying to help me in terms of the tech stuff. So I actually, if you think about my first stream, I actually forgot to turn my microphone on. And then I think my second stream, one of my lights fell. So hopefully they're going to get better and stronger. But I've got some amazing shows coming up for you all as well. I'm bringing voices that I believe you need to hear from, that you will not hear in the mainstream media. So we have some of the grooming gang survivors. I also have some a religious expert or leader talking about spiritual warfare. I've got Andrew Loney later this week. So you've been sending me all your questions. Thank you. And as always, I love you all. Thank you for supporting me, and let's keep spraying that sunlight. I'm not going anywhere. Thank you, Insider.